Welcome back to the Colchester Golf Academy. I've been asked by lots of people to help them with their driving. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things and give you a few tips on helping you to hit more fairways and certainly hit the ball longer. So how do we hit the driver longer? So first and foremost we need more club head speed. Okay, so that's one of the main things. But what happens if you've got the same amount of club head speed, yet we've changed another dynamic reason why we hit the ball further? So the main reason why the ball will go further is spin. Okay, so in the driver we want to try and have less spin than we do on a normal shot. So what you tend to find is people that tend to slice the ball or cut the ball, they tend to generate too much backspin. Okay, so what happens is the ball kind of rises up in the air quite weakly. When it lands, it kind of kicks to the right hand side and you don't get that forward momentum. So what we're looking for is optimum flight. So optimum flight is a nice flat trajectory where you get plenty of carry and then plenty of roll as well. Okay, so how do we do that? And that's what we've got to do is lower the spin. So first and foremost, it's really important to make sure you've got the right shaft, the right equipment. But if you are fitted well and you've got yourself a good weapon in your hand, we can really help you to bring that spin down and basically increase your yardage and hit more fairways. So what I tend to see, okay, so what a lot of people do with a driver is they try and swing the golf club very similar to if they're hitting an iron. I always say to people, one huge difference with a driver comparable to an iron is we take divots with an iron because we're nice and steep, but with a driver we would take it nice and clean and being much more shallow. Unfortunately, people don't implement a different golf swing when they have a driver in their hand than they do with an iron. Okay, so as you can see, the ball is elevated off the ground, which means we must try and get underneath the ball. So what people tend to do is they tend to get a bit too steep on the way down, chop down on it, deal off the golf club, they don't get their optimum launch, and then they create too much backspin. So the ball, again, spins up in the air. The easiest way of understanding backspin is I try and sort of put it into words as hitting into wind. So if you hit a perfectly struck shot into the wind, the ball will spin more because you've got a headwind and it's stopping that ball, it's increasing the backspin. Hence the fact the ball goes further downwind because you are creating more topspin from the wind being behind you, hence more distance. So in essence what we're doing is instead of you hitting it into the wind on a normal day, we're going to try and make you feel like and produce a shot which will be more like you're downwind. Okay, so first and foremost, if you are someone who tends to hit down on the ball a bit steep, okay, that tends to be a slicer, okay, over the top method this way, you'll create far too much backspin. Hence the fact our distance will go down. So I'm going to do two examples, one with a correct method and one with an incorrect method to tell you the difference in the data for the spin numbers and also to help you for when you're on the range hitting some balls. Okay, so the first one, we're going to come down steep like an iron. Okay, so if you are someone who does this, you will create lots and lots of backspin. Okay, so we get nice and steep on the way down. Okay. Big, high, curvy, cutty, slingy slice, loads of leverage out to the right hand side, okay? But the most important thing is what's our spin number. So 256 total distance, 3,479 revolutions of side spin and backspin, sorry. So the problem with backspin is that's far too much. The optimum we're looking for, depending on your club head speed, is around 2,200. That's a pretty good number. Maybe if your club head speed's a bit lower, maybe 2,500, 2,600, and a bit higher, more around the 2,000 mark. So that was my steep angle of attack. So now I'm going to change my dynamic. I'm going to try and feel like I'm going to swing up a little bit more. What that will do is create more topspin and less backspin. Okay, so this time more up, more through. Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
So really going to feel like, again, we're swinging more up on the driver, more shallow, more up this way. Once we do that, we will definitely take the spin off the ball. Okay, so feel like we're really trying to get up on that ball, 3 or 4, 5 degrees sometimes. So I've swung up on it, and again, a change of shape, the balls move right to left in the air. Okay, so significantly further as well, so that's going to be, okay, pleased with that one. So it's 320 yard total, which is like 60 yards further. And again, the spin, 1900. So if anything, I exaggerated fractionally and brought the spin a little bit too much down. But again, what you'll find is the shape will definitely change. A more likely to hit a draw with less spin than if you're coming down steep on something, it's going to end up trying to cut over to the right a bit too much. So yeah, so if you're struggling with the driver, don't hit down, try and feel like we're going to have a more ascending blow than a descending blow. Okay, we don't want to be steep with the driver, it's on a T-pip, we want to be as shallow as we can, really find swing up, swing through, and you'll definitely get some more yardage and hopefully hit a lot more fairways. I hope that was useful, and again, we've got lots of videos, please watch away and hopefully we can help you golf, and I'll see you again soon.